In a world obsessed with appearances, where everyone is rushing to be seen, to be heard, to be admired, what if the greatest power lies not in shining brightly, but in choosing to remain unseen? What if, by stepping out of the spotlight, you could gain a deeper understanding of others, protect your peace, and unlock a strength few ever discover? Today we explore a forgotten art, the hidden wisdom of playing the fool. Imagine stepping into a crowded room buzzing with energy, a room where every conversation is a competition, every laugh a strategy, every glance a silent duel for dominance. People parade their intelligence like medals, speaking louder, bigger, faster, desperate to be seen, to be admired, to be acknowledged as someone. You stand there watching. The game is obvious. Words become weapons. Achievements are flaunted. Status becomes a shield and a sword. But then, amid the noise, you notice a figure. Someone strangely quiet, almost invisible. They smile but do not boast. They listen but do not compete. They seem content, even letting others think them naive, unimpressive, even foolish. And something in you stirs. Why would someone choose to be underestimated? Why would they allow themselves to be seen as less than they are in a world that punishes weakness and worships strength? Today we are going to explore a paradox that has been understood by the wisest minds in history, a secret that flips everything society teaches us on its head. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why those who seem the simplest often possess the deepest wisdom. Why playing the fool can be the ultimate strategy, not just to survive the social game, but to master it and yourself. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you move through the world forever. Schopenhauer's brutal truth about society. Arthur Schopenhauer had no illusions about humanity. Where others painted life with bright colors, Schopenhauer preferred the raw, unfiltered version, where vanity, insecurity, and an endless thirst for status ruled the human heart. He described society as a theater of endless performances, each person desperately vying for applause, validation, dominance. And those who dared to stand out too boldly, they became targets, envied, scrutinized, sabotaged. Think about it. When someone walks into a room and demands attention, what happens? They become a magnet, not just for admiration, but for envy. Their successes become threats. Their flaws become magnified. People love to see the mighty fall, but the one who walks quietly, humbly, who doesn't flaunt their strength, passes unnoticed. They sidestep rivalry. They slip past the traps laid by ego and pride. And in that invisibility lies an extraordinary kind of power. Schopenhauer taught that to hide one's brilliance, to let others misjudge you, is not weakness. It is the ultimate wisdom. It is armor against a world that punishes obvious greatness. The masters of hidden strength. History remembers many figures who wielded this secret skill. Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, famously claimed to know nothing, and by doing so exposed the ignorance of those who thought they knew everything. He asked questions rather than giving speeches, and through this humility, he built a method that still shapes thought today. Sun Tzu, in his legendary work The Art of War, taught generals to appear weak when they were strong, to lure enemies into complacency. Victory, he said, belongs to those who master appearances. Even Shakespeare captured this wisdom when he wrote, "The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool." Across every culture, across time, this pattern repeats. The truly wise do not announce themselves. They do not seek validation. They do not chase applause. They play the fool, and in doing so, they win the deeper game. Why playing the fool works so well? The secret lies in human psychology. Most people are obsessed with recognition. They crave validation the way a drowning man craves air. If someone steps back and refuses to compete for attention, it unsettles the entire system. People stop seeing you as a rival. Their guard drops. Their secrets spill. When you are not perceived as a threat, you are free to observe, to learn, to understand, while others expose themselves without even realizing it. Imagine two employees battling for a promotion. One is loud, constantly showcasing his achievements. The other quietly works, learns, builds trust in the background. Guess who rises higher in the long run? The loud one may win short-term applause, but the quiet one moves silently toward real power, unnoticed until it's too late. And when they finally reveal their strength, it appears effortless, almost magical. Beyond strategy, the deeper liberation. But playing the fool is about more than just social strategy. It is about liberation. When you no longer feel the compulsion to prove your intelligence, your strength, or your worth, you step off the exhausting treadmill of social validation. You reclaim your energy. You cultivate an inner peace that those still trapped in the game cannot even imagine. Think of the countless times you felt the urge to prove yourself in arguments, at work, in relationships. How much of that struggle brought true fulfillment? How much of it was simply an exhausting race, fueled by the fear of being invisible, unimportant? Schopenhauer understood, the more you crave recognition, the more power others have over you. When you detach from that need, you become unshakable. Insults lose their sting. Praise loses its intoxication. You are no longer controlled by society's shifting winds. You are free, mastering yourself first. There is a profound paradox at play. Those most desperate to appear wise often reveal their ignorance. Those who genuinely know have no need to shout it from the rooftops. Because true intelligence is silent. True strength is invisible. True freedom is private. When you stop trying to win every social interaction, you start understanding them instead. You listen more. You notice details others miss. You predict behavior with uncanny accuracy. You become the calm eye in the center of the storm. And this gives you not just tactical advantages, but something even rarer: mastery over yourself. Real-world legends of humble power. Diogenes, the radical Greek philosopher, famously lived in poverty, mocked society, and cared nothing for titles or wealth. When Alexander the Great himself approached him and offered him anything he desired, Diogenes merely asked, "Stand out of my sunlight." He needed nothing that power or fame could give him. He was free. Or consider Lao Tzu, the sage behind Taoism, who vanished into obscurity after writing his masterpiece, uninterested in fame, content simply to exist in harmony with nature. These were not fools. These were people who understood life at a level that most never reach. And because they needed nothing from a society, society could not control them. The hidden power you can access. There will be moments when you must step forward, when you must speak your truth, defend your principles, or lead others. Playing the fool is not about cowardice or passivity. It's about choosing when to reveal your strength. It's about recognizing that most battles are unnecessary. It's about conserving your energy for what truly matters, because the loudest voice is rarely the wisest, and those most desperate for recognition are often the least secure. Real power is quiet, real wisdom is invisible, and those who master the art of appearing foolish master the art of living freely, the path few dare to take. In the end, playing the fool is not about tricking others. It's about freeing yourself. It's about rising above the endless contests of ego. It's about choosing peace over performance, understanding over dominance, mastery over vanity. It is a path few dare to walk because it requires immense inner strength. It requires letting go of the very things society teaches us to cling to, the need to be seen. But those who do walk this path find something extraordinary: freedom, clarity, true power, and a kind of wisdom that speaks not with words, but with a life well lived. If this message resonated with your spirit, consider sharing it. Someone out there might be carrying the same questions, the same doubts, the same quiet hope, and your sharing might be the reminder they need. Stay true, stay kind, stay you. For more insights on philosophy, personal growth, and the art of clear thinking, subscribe and turn on notifications. Flow through life and embrace the journey of thought with curiosity and insight. Seek truth, seek wisdom, and remember to question everything. Until next time, stay curious.